Imagine running a global economy where 86% of the population is invisible. Current digital networks rely on a narrow 1.12 billion person proxy to make decisions for the other 7 billion of us. To fill this void, legacy systems rely on methodological ghosts. They invent statistical hallucinations, like the 2.3 person household, and use those generic averages to drive critical resource allocation and infrastructure planning. This 2000 census map illustrates the problem. Decisions are being made using lagging, siloed snapshots that can take years to compile, forcing us to manage society through stagnant assumptions rather than a complete distribution of reality. The resulting distance between database assumptions and actual ground truth is a built-in feature of a system that treats 8 billion individuals as data exhaust. Because global corporations and utilities know their internal data is based on these hallucinations, they have to protect themselves against the inaccuracy by hoarding massive reserves of defensive capital. This creates a $7 trillion fragmentation tax. It is capital that stays locked behind firewalls, where it slowly seeps away into litigation reserves, bad debt provisions, and compliance costs meant to buffer against a reality the system can't actually see. Layer 2 data harvesting cannot solve this. Gathering more fragmented data only increases the complexity and the waste. Releasing this capital requires a change in the Internet's underlying architecture. The sovereignty engine serves as a stabilizing Internet protocol, a third layer designed specifically to coordinate human truth and unlock that trapped capital. The process begins when a legacy system, such as a hospital's patient records or a utility's grid management, generates an internal assumption that needs real-world validation. Instead of exporting the data, the system pushes the assumption through a zero-liability helix wall. This instantly translates the raw information into an outbound cryptographic hash question. The query spreads out across a global mesh of edge nodes, reaching the operational mirrors of administrators and personal smartphones. Computation happens locally on the device. No personal information leaves the phone. It returns only a binary signal, green for validation or red for invalidation. By requesting a cryptographic attestation rather than harvesting raw files, the protocol generates ground truth without the need for a central surveillance apparatus. To prevent manipulation, the protocol uses a reputation mechanism, where nodes earn mathematical weight through repeated accuracy. This makes lying economically irrational for everyone involved. Once 67% of the network reaches consensus, the truth is locked in. The system recognizes both matches and mismatches as valuable updates to its internal model of the world. At the moment of consensus, agentic AI bound by fiduciary rules executes the final conversion. The AI reaches directly into the corporate ERP system and routes 92% of the previously trapped defensive capital to the individuals and households that provided the truth. This realignment turns bloated corporate defense budgets into highly targeted growth, moving value directly to the point where it is most effective. As soon as the value is routed, the hot data containing the raw attestation is algorithmically destroyed. This shifts the entire corporate perspective on data. Storing massive amounts of personal information is no longer an advantage. It is a toxic asset and a primary source of regulatory liability. The only thing left behind is an immutable pattern ledger. This ledger preserves the systemic memory and mathematical weights of the interaction while remaining entirely stripped of human identity. By destroying data post-execution, enterprises operate with total operational clarity while carrying zero liability under global privacy regulations. For every dollar reallocated from defensive reserves to origin truth, CFOs recover $36 in wasted capital and operating expenses. This dividend comes from eliminating the need to buffer against commute friction, bad debt, and uncompensated care. This creates a 64x growth factor for the broader economy. This multiplier is achieved by compressing 8 stages of bureaucratic lag into real-time visibility and doubling the resolution of those old ghost averages into a precise distribution of 8 billion people. On this Layer 3 architecture, the unknowable alpha, new forms of coordination and business models we cannot yet predict, will emerge natively. The mass no longer hides the individual. The edge mirror validates the truth, and the system routes value directly to where it is earned. We have built a planetary engine where the truth of 8 billion individuals is visible, and advanced coordination is possible without the need for extraction or surveillance.